Well, alright, everybody out there in the Craft Chess Nation, I know it's been a little while, but I'm back with a new video series, and we're going to start off with a video response tonight and then get on with it. Now, I know everybody out there has been just chomping at the bit for a new D2 build, and I'm working on it. Hopefully, we're going to have an awesome Necromancer build coming up here shortly, and if everything works out, maybe even have it up by the end of the week. But right now, we're going to start off with a video response and then get into the series. This is the video response to Zong Chair, so let's do this. Alright, to start this off, I wanted to, I didn't plan on doing a video response to anybody. I was actually going to do this because I've been writing down notes after notes after notes about different things, about some of the topics that's come up with just personal discussions with a lot of people, both on Ustream and email and just blogs that I've done. And what that is kind of coincidental, I guess you could say. That I ran into Zong Chair's recent video, which was a response or kind of like one of those interesting things about a book he was reading. And I guess it's kind of funny how things work, and it's amazing how this really would tie into the space-time and how collective minds and everything else work, but that's a different series. But this one right here was about the Aether Wave and the phase wave and everything else that I was going to get into, because there was a couple of people that I actually wanted to do a video response to, but I figured since Zong Chair was one of my faithful subscribers and friends, and I talk to him on a regular basis here, or have been. I'm sorry I've been away for a while, guys, but been having some personal matters to attend to, and family matters along with personal matters, and the whole big ball of life away from the internet. So I've had to step away for a little while. But right now, what I'm going to do is, and I might get into the rest of it a little bit later and explain where I've been and what I've been doing, what we're going to do, and where we're going in the future. But right now, I want to start off with the video response, and I hope that I don't miss anything, because it was very interesting, and I could just see the gears turning in Zong Chair's mind about, you know, and finding it fascinating about the universe. Okay? And that's what this strip of paper, of course it's two strips, it's a sheet of paper I cut in half, or long ways, and about inch and a half wide, okay? You see little points on it, and those are going to represent something here later. I have that and that, and this, by the way, just to let you know, is not just going to be this video. This is going to be a video series. I don't know how many, so be sure and watch all of them, and I'll mention that in all the videos, because this is interesting stuff. Especially for people who actually give a shit about the universe, you know, where we came from and all that other stuff. Now, this isn't going to be one of those evolution type of things, but there was a lot of different videos, a lot of topics on TV, and a lot of naysayers out there that seem to just want to prove everybody wrong. But whenever you actually think about it, and if you understand physics in itself, science, quantum physics of the like, and just universal science, it's fascinating. Okay, so you got to take all of it, you know, for face value, because all of our thoughts and everything that I've said in past series is just a theory. It's our idea. Whoever's right, hey, if we have proof, we have proof. But whenever you have materialistic proof, such as this, and that's not what I'm calling this, proof, but, and the reason I'm going to keep looking over here, so I keep it in the shot, I'm not looking at myself, all right? But let's say, start off with a response to Zong Chair. Let's say this right here represents the universal plane. Okay? We live in flat space, or a lot of people would like to think we do. And this flat space may rotate, it may expand, it may grow longer, or whatever. Okay? Let's take this same flat space and add the phase wave, in which I'd like to call it. I think it's actually what it's called, is a phase wave, or just a phase, let's say, let's take a photon, for example. That's a good example. Let's take a photon, for example. And this represents one length in a wave of the photon. All right? Let's say this twist is that, because everybody, you know, understands get this right. Everybody understands what a wavelength is. Okay, so this represents one wavelength of a photon. Okay, let's imagine the same plane being our universe, and this is the wavelength of the universe. Let's just imagine it now. I'm not saying it is. All right. So this right here would represent that wavelength of whatever it may be, and this could be the Earth. It could be, you know, a particle, whatever. It could be the galaxy, the universe itself. All right. Now, this right here would be considered still flat space or a flat universe. Okay. This is what everybody is really thinking that we live on is, you know, a flat space of space-time and the universe itself. All right. Now, let's take this same piece, and the reason I'm moving kind of quickly is because, you know, this is just basic science. But let's take this same piece, and this is my thought on what the universe could represent, which is curved space. Now, before I go into curved space, there is one other point that I want to bring up. Zongchair said that we could be living in parallel universes. You could take flat space, curved space, or, you know, the wavelength of the space or whatever, and if we were to take it like this in a curved dimensional type thing, I guess you could say, and as you can see, the little dots would represent points in time of both of the universes. Okay, so let's take those and put them up like that, and as you can see, the dots are pretty close together. They're not exact. And what he was saying is that, you know, we live on this plane up here, and say there's another plane down here, and we could get to that other part of the plane by going around, which is the long way, or you could cut right through, which, you know, would probably be black holes, wormholes, whatever you want to call them. They could be the same thing. Who's to disprove it? We know they're there. We just don't know where they go. I've often been fascinated with the fact that, you know, black holes can't just suck up matter and you don't see anything on the other side. Where's it going? It's got to go someplace. And I've never seen any. Hopefully hey, if they have it and they aren't showing it, then hey, that's just something we're being left in the dark at. No pun intended. But that's one representation. Now here's the other. Let's say that we have this flat space, this flat universe, and we were to take this flat universe and actually join the points in time of the wavelength of the flat universe, okay, which would represent this. Now this is what I propose. All right, if I can get this shit to cooperate. It's not wanting to cooperate with me right now. All right, now here's what I propose might be, and in my theory, the way I see it is that we live on a curved plane. Okay. The reason I have this belief of a curved plane, which is represented by this little figure 8, what I like to call an infinite loop type thing, is that whether you have it, whichever position you have it in, you always come back, or you're always in an infinite loop. Okay? And I know infinite loop is a computer term, but get over it. All right? Any point that we have will always intersect at some point. All right? And let's say that the inside of this that's curving is the actual curvature of it, and that the vertical of it is the other part. Now there is I believe there's a scientific type of formulae that you could have to this, but this is the way I see our universe. Okay, you could call this two universes if you want to call the one strip up here one universe and this one here, but there are points to where we could still get from point A to point B if you want to talk about space-time. Now, is space-time or time travel possible? Who knows? But there are, in theory, possibilities to get from one place to another, or one universe to another, in this particular theory. The reason why I believe we live in a curved universe is because if you think about the way everything is made, let's say blowing a bubble, for example, okay? when you blow a bubble, the way we call it is a circle or a sphere or a bubble, okay? We blow round, circular, curved bubbles. We don't blow triangle bubbles. We don't blow square bubbles. We blow round, circular bubbles, which have a curvature to it. All right? It's the same with this, okay? Let's take this for example. Let's say this is the bubble, okay? We live on a curved plane, whether this would represent or it could represent the Earth. The Earth is round, okay? The sun is round. Mars, planets, stars in themselves, everything that we see is circular or curved. All right? Our orbit around the sun is in a circular or curved